Our Washington Bureau Chief Rick Klein, our Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce. And Rick, let me begin with you. It seems like every time we have an election right now, voters are sending a clear message. We want change.
Yeah, that is the only consistent theme, George. You're exactly right. And the worries and uncertainties that face so many Americans boiled over last night. In Virginia, Democrats won back the governor's office and they picked up seats in the state assembly. 64% of voters there said they were either dissatisfied or downright angry as they went to the polls, frustrated by high prices, the political scene, and so much else. And that number was very similar in New Jersey, where the Democrats bucked history to hold on to the governor's office. Both of these governors-elect are women with national security backgrounds, focused intensely on the cost of living. The candidates in the campaigns in a bunch of different races, they were different, but the through line was Trump. Our poll from the weekend showed that president's approval rating 41%. That is down from where he was at the start of his presidency, heading into this midterm year that is almost certainly going to be a referendum on the president.
And so many of these races that you were just talking about weren't even close, Rick.
Yeah, Robin, that was probably the biggest surprise. We're talking about blowouts coast to coast. Most cases, the polls actually understated Democratic support this time around. In Virginia, it was a 15-point drubbing, even with a popular Republican governor in office and his lieutenant governor running for the office. A similar story in New Jersey. The Republican came within 3 points of winning last time. This year, he lost by 13 points.
And how about here in New York City?
Yeah, this is such a story. Zohran Mamdani making history on numerous fronts. And he did it by getting just about half of the more than 2 million people who cast ballots. That's almost twice the turnout that this city saw just 4 years ago.
Okay, let me bring in Mary Bruce. Mary, Zohran Mamdani said it. I know you're watching President Trump. He almost certainly cannot have liked what he saw.
No, he was watching, and he definitely did not like what he saw. There is no question. This was a rebuke of the president and his policies. Now, President Trump this morning is arguing that Republicans lost because of the shutdown, which is interesting because he's argued that Democrats are to blame for that. He also says Republicans lost because Trump wasn't on the ballot himself. Of course, Trump isn't going to be on a ballot again, but his policies will be. And last night, voters resoundingly rejected those policies. We saw over and over again Democrats showing that they can be successful and win big by running against Trump. And the through line in all of these races, that intense focus on affordability and the cost of living. Now, look, Democrats don't exactly have a set playbook here either. The party is still facing some real divisions. It's not clear if they'll be most competitive running as moderates like we saw in New Jersey and Virginia, or adopting more of the Mamdani mold, that populist mold like we saw here in New York. But what is clear right now, Democrats have the momentum going into the midterms.
And as you said, it's almost always about the economy.
Always.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much. And joining us in our next half hour will be the New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani.